that's about all you can say after that, isn't it? And thank you so much for sharing who you are and that beautiful voice that comes straight from your heart and soul. Oh, wow. And I have to just share in just a moment here that y'all are going to be amazed. I promise. Y'all are going to be amazed. Because this week while I was in Tennessee and I was thinking, what's my message going to be this Sunday? Because I have two little boys distracting me every day. And one of the scriptures I am using in today's message that I planned out 3 days ago is glory to glory from 2 Corinthians. And then Jeremiah stood right up here and spoke it right out loud. And that is how the Spirit works.
Yeah.
When you just allow the flow with ease and grace. And 2 people this morning told me that they are now allowing Spirit to flow through their life with ease. That's what we can do. When we do that, we know we are totally in alignment with God. We are. Oh, so today I'm talking about remembering who you are. So we had our beautiful Christmas Eve candlelight, and we had our burning bowl where we burned away and left behind all those things we don't need to carry forward with us, and we set new intentions. So today we're going to remember just who we are. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. That's Winnie the Pooh. There's no wisdom like Winnie the Pooh. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. When you remember who you are, you know that. And we all face challenges. We all face challenges in life. We don't know how they're going to work out. And you know what? We don't really need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about the how. Because God will work it out for us. We just need to remember who we are, who we were put here to be. So who are you really? During this time of the year, we can easily get caught up in judgment about ourselves. And many times we focus on what we or what society feels isn't perfect about us. And we need to change. So if that's what your resolutions are about this year, I want you to drop them like a hot potato. Just leave them there on the floor. And just resolve to be who you really are. Welcome, 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 welcome. So today, together, let's shift that focus. Shift the focus and think of the things you desire to co-create in your life, right here and right now. Don't think of how am I going to accomplish that. I don't have enough energy for that. And you know, I heard myself say that once with my boys. I'm not creative enough. Shift into knowing that you are a favored child of our omnipresent Creator. And know who you are. Because it's when you know without a doubt who you are that you clear the path to success in all ways, in all things. We can focus sometimes and spend too much time on the how. But I want you to shift that focus from the how. Leave that how to God. Shift your focus on the who. Let God take care of the how. Who overrides how every time. You are a child of God, and you don't have to figure it out. Because I'm telling you right now, God's got it figured. God's got it figured. There are angels watching over you and favor surrounding you if you just allow. Much like the Bible story that we learned as children about David and Goliath. David heard Goliath out there boasting about how he was going to defeat and take down the army of Israel. And David felt a calling. He felt a divine inspiration well up inside of him. And he knew it was for him to do to defeat Goliath. It seemed like an impossible task. Soldiers in the field laughed at him. Said, "You're just a boy. You aren't trained in military combat. You don't have any armor. You don't know what you're doing." But David knew. David knew it was for him. He knew he was called to do it. And he didn't worry about the how. He took that slingshot out of his pocket and flung that stone. And who would have imagined, who on that field that day would have imagined that a stone flung from a small boy would take down the biggest and best soldier that the opponent had, and take down not only a giant, but an empire. And David left the how to God. He didn't worry about it. He just stepped out in faith, stepped out in trust and in confidence that God had it figured. Because God did. So when you know who you are, you will defeat giants. So step out into your dream with faith, with trust, with confidence. Step up boldly. When you know who you are, you will be unafraid. And you are a divine child of God. And God's always got your back. You know, when I grew up in the mountains and we used to go over to Cherokee, quite often, maybe one weekend every month or so, we would go over to Cherokee, and it was a big outing day. We had a big picnic by the stream, and Dad would put our our drinks and stuff we'd taken in the stream, and that's how they kept cold. But this one time, and I don't really remember it because I was too little. I think I was 2 or 3, so I don't really remember it. But I've heard the story so many times. I know the story. So we had pulled off to the side of the road because there's all these little side road pull-offs, and you can frequently see bears. Or back in my day, when I was little, you could see bears all the time. Now I think they're a little more skittish around people, so you may not see them quite as much. But we had pulled off on one of those little side things, and this little bear cub came out of the trees into the open. And I was running after it going, "Doggy, doggy, doggy." And this is the story from my mom and dad. My mom jumps up on the hood of the car and hollered at my dad to come get me. "Benoy, you go get her. Go get her." Because I was running like the wind to get to that little doggy. I wanted to pet it and hold it. And Mama knew there's a mama right inside those trees watching that baby. And if I get too close, that mama's coming out. So Daddy ran and swooped me up before the mama bear came out. And I didn't get to pet the doggy. But you know what? I was able to go after that dream of petting that doggy. Because I knew no matter what, my daddy's right there to protect me. Somebody's got my back. I knew my daddy had my back, no matter what. I didn't think that there was anything in the world that could hurt me when I'm with my daddy. And Daddy swooped me up and took me back in. So during your life when you're going after your dream, have the confidence to know that somebody's got your back. Your loved ones who love you unconditionally. And if you say, "I don't have anybody, Reverend Kimberley," well, you have this community. And you have me, and above all, you have God. You have our Creator. And people may try to come against you in different things, but I want you to stand tall. Stand as tall as me. I want you to stand tall. Yeah, I see it. I see you taking those shoulders back a little bit. Knowing who you are and who stands with you. Because that's so important. Whether it is actually loved ones in your life, and it's always God. He's omnipresent. He's always around you. He's always standing with you, no matter what. And we face challenges. One of those challenges in my life was Marine Corps boot camp. And when I was in Marine Corps boot camp, I had days where I doubted I was going to make it through. I had days where I doubted I could make it one more day. But you know what? My mom wrote me letters almost every single day. And every night we had mail call. And almost every night I had a letter from my mom. And every single letter was the theme of, you are our precious daughter. We are so pleased with you. We are so proud of you. You can do anything you set your mind to. So those carried me through. When I didn't believe in myself, I knew they were back home believing in me. And if they believed I could do it, I could do it. And so every day, I stepped out boldly, early in the morning, carried that guide on for my platoon, and thrived in boot camp. Because of those letters from Mom, because she loved me unconditionally. And she knew, because she had a son who went through the same boot camp years before me, she knew what a struggle it was going to be and how important that support was. So don't be limited. Don't doubt. Know who you are. And sometimes we just need that little reminder, like those little letters. Sometimes we just need a little reminder. In 2 Corinthians, God charges us to go from glory to glory. Are you living in your glory? I'm so happy to know Jeremiah and Jenny stepped out and lived in their glory. When we're living in our glory, we are in true alignment with God. When we're happy, we are in alignment with God. We are living in our glory. Because if you're living in your glory, God's going to upgrade you to the first class glory. Come on. When you check in and check out, God's going to say, yeah, you're living in that glory. You're appreciating what you already have. You're living in that gratitude. So let me give you a little more glory to live in. That's where I want to be. And in you, that's where I want to be. I want to be living in such glory that God says, let me give you some more glory. My papers got all mixed up. Don't let people speak doubt or defeat upon you. Know who you are. Know who you are. You know, that self-talk. They say, no, Dr. Phil says, that we speak around 150 words a minute. Now, I used to type pretty good because back in the day, I was a business student. I took typing, but never 150 words a minute. But we can speak 150 to 200 words a minute. Except for auctioneers, I guess they move on a little bit better. But you know what? Our brain thinks 5 to 10 times that. 5 to 10 times faster than what we can speak. So if you're speaking doubt and you're speaking your self-talk is bringing you down, you're speaking that you're not worthy. You speak it once, your brain hears it 500 times. You speak it once, your brain hears it a multitude of times. So don't speak doubt upon yourself. Don't speak that negative self-talk. If you're thinking of a dream and God has sparked that inspiration within you, and you start thinking, well, no, that's too big a dream for me. Start doubting yourself that you can do it. Don't you believe it. Don't you even dare to believe it. Because if God gave it to you, it's yours to do. Don't you start saying, I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I have to do this and then do this and then do that. That's just not your job right there. That's God's job. You just know and show up and be who you are. And then when God shows up with you, because he's always around you. So when is it he shows up with you? When we say that, that's when you allow God to show up with you. Because God is there all the time. But sometimes we don't let him show up with us. Sometimes we think we got it all figured, but we don't. God's got it figured. And if we show up in that humility and that grace and that ease and allow God to take us there, nothing and no one can ever stand in your way. Those people you thought were coming against you, they're not even in the picture. That's how irrelevant they are, because God's got it figured. Doors are going to open, paths are going to clear, and you will accomplish what once seemed impossible. Know who you are. Know you are possible. Around Thanksgiving, Donna shared with us, I am possible. Impossible is I am possible. So know that. And then I told you a few weeks ago that possibility and endless possibilities lie right beyond the horizon of impossible. So when you remember who you are and know that you are loved unconditionally, the universe will conspire to bring you all you ever dreamed. Everything will be put into motion that needs to happen for you to succeed. Opportunities are going to come your way, whether it's job offers, business deals, a creative opportunity. You just had a creative idea for a brand new creation. Good health is going to abide in you when you allow that spirit to flow in you, unencumbered, unrestricted. The fear and anxiety just are going to melt away, and joy and happiness will triumph and be there in the forefront when you remember who you are. God will get you to your destiny. Yes. I don't want you to start thinking life's not fair, get discouraged, disappointed, something didn't work out right. Maybe it didn't work out right because it was teaching you that that's not the way you're meant to go. Because God has it figured a different way. And you needed to not have that way you thought was the way it worked out right, so you would know the good way to go. So, and always know that if God gives it to you, it is yours to do. Yes. You don't have to worry about it. It's not going to work out. I don't know how it's going to do it. That's just not your job. That's God's job. Know you are possible. See, I told you my brain just got all mixed up.
That's great.
Yeah.
God's got it.
So in closing, I'm going to say God's got it figured, because I think it was figured that it was supposed to be that other way. It was figured that that's the way it was supposed to be. That's not the way I thought it was supposed to be, but it's the way it was supposed to be.
God's plan, not yours.
Absolutely. God took me from glory to glory right there. I must be living in my glory. And I know I am, because I am right here with you all, the spiritual leader of this wonderful community. And I know that the secret is knowing that I am a blessed, divine child of God and not allowing anyone or anything to deny that. Be you. I'll be me. Don't try to be someone else. They're already taken. Be you. The world needs you to be you. To be you. There's not one thing that God has done for anyone else that won't be done for you. So I want you to think right now. Think of the most successful person you know, or the most successful person you've ever thought of, heard about. God's worked wonderful miracles in their life. But God will not do one more thing for them that He will do for you. The secret is that they allowed God to work those miracles in their life. Will you step up and live in your glory and allow God to work miracles in your life? That really is truly the simple secret. Allow, trust, and believe, and always remember who you are.